Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. Today I'm very excited because we will be trying out some fragrances from the house of Junaid. You know I love this house, you know I'm very intrigued by this house, and I found lately a lot of fragrances that I love from the house. Today we will be trying out 3 fragrances. We will be trying out Badiah Gold. I have a sample of this one here, NAMEER and Sahar Purple. So yes, these 3. By the way, if you've tried any of these 3, I would love for you to share your thoughts on them down below. Also, something else I want to mention, if you have any recommendations from the house, please again put them down below, because I'm really looking into exploring more fragrances from the house. So yes, let's start with Sahar Purple. Junaid categorized this fragrance as a Western fragrance. It comes in 100 ml and it is an eau de parfum concentration. And I will insert somewhere over here basically the notes slash the accords that they listed. But you know, when it comes to Junaid fragrances, they only list just a little bit, you know, just enough for you to paint a picture, but not too much, you know. So it's not like, if you look at the accords, I don't think you can picture how this fragrance smells, you know. So first of all, this is a feminine fragrance. This smells very feminine. Also, this is a floral fragrance, but not your typical floral. I would say this is your modern, timeless floral. It's very, like, not fresh, more like refreshing, energizing. It has like a burst of refreshing nuances in the opening. From the notes, I do detect a pink pepper touch that gives it this like spicy, peppery, but bright and fruity nuance to the scent, which I think is very beautiful. So if I were to put this fragrance into like a category, I would say that this is your crisp, clean floral fragrance that's refreshing, with slight red fruity nuances and very peppery, and with something that keeps it also a little bit grounded I think, but not too much. This is quite light, quite bright, quite airy, but at the same time this is very crisp. If I were to associate this fragrance with a season, it would be spring, you know, like when the air is still a little bit cold and chilly, but it's starting to get warm, but the nature is coming back to life. This has something that smells very raw about it, very raw, nature-like. It's almost like, I don't know, like you're in a garden you're in a garden in a spring day after the rain, and you're smelling some flowers. You know, this is the vibe that it gives me. Guys, I feel like the word that describes this fragrance the best is crisp. Everything about it is crisp. The crispest is in the opening. As you are wearing this one, the crispness starts to tone down, but you still get this vibe. So basically this is like a floral, but like a crisp floral. I would say you have a soft, delicate pink rose, but it's more in the background. You have here a white musk that again has a clean undertone, but it's very like crisp. And how to say, it smells oily. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced a fragrance that smells oily. Well, this fragrance to me smells oily. You have a crisp, peppery, slightly fruity, refreshing aspect that I am assuming comes from the pink pepper. It's not listed, but this is what I get to my nose, you know. And also in the background you have something, like I said, slightly grounding and relaxing. I mean, who I think would enjoy this fragrance? I think the modern woman who's on the go. I feel like girls who are into, like, how are these trends, like this whole like aesthetic vibe, you know, like the clean girl, it girl, that girl, I don't know, all the girls, you know, that sort of aesthetic. I feel like those sorts of women would enjoy this fragrance because it smells clean, it smells very feminine. It's a light and bright fragrance, but at the same time it has like a statement side to it, you know. I would see this fragrance on a woman who is confident. I would see this fragrance on a woman who, like, she puts emphasis on how she looks, but she wants her looks to be the main thing you see about her, and then her fragrance. I think I would say this fragrance on someone who doesn't want an ultra loud fragrance, who doesn't want the fragrance to speak for herself. More, she wants her fragrance to be like the cherry on top when it comes to her whole vibe, you know, when it comes to the way she's presenting herself to the world. This is a woman who likes floral fragrances, but this is a woman who has also like a very strong personality to her. Guys, honestly, when I smelled this fragrance from the first time, the woman that popped into my mind when I smelled this one, and the woman on whom I would picture this fragrance, is Jessica Pearson from Suits. If you've watched the TV series, I will insert a photo with her. I think this is the kind of fragrance, it's like classy, it's timeless, because the way she dresses and the way she carries herself, I feel like it was very like classy and timeless, elegant but not too serious, but also like a little bit serious, you know. It's not like a young floral fragrance, you know. It doesn't smell like flower nectars or something. No, this is like a statement crisp floral fragrance with a presence to it. Yes, I do think it smells very beautiful. I think this is a timeless fragrance. I think it's a safe blend by as long as you enjoy florals, and I think if you enjoy usually the fragrances from Chanel, I think this is your sort of vibe. Longevity, I would say it lasted somewhere around 5 hours on my skin. After 5 hours I couldn't really smell it. Now, projection wise, it's hard to test the projection of a fragrance from a sample, especially when it comes to me, because I'm an upper sprayer, you know. But I do think in the first hour your fragrance, because of the crisp peppery aspect, I feel like that's very projecting, you know. These sort of notes are very projecting, so in the first hour I would say it will be projecting, but after that I think, like I said, it's more of an intimate fragrance, you know. So the next one, guys, this one is called NAMEER. Again, I have a decant of this one, and this fragrance, guys, this is like something that I've never smelled. It's a very interesting fragrance. It's a very, like, how to say, like abstract fragrance. To me, when I smell this fragrance, you know what I think of? Yes, I think of the color blue, and I think of the color red. Mix them together and not even mix them, like put them together somewhere, and this is the fragrance that you get. I think the way this fragrance looks is very representative for how the fragrance smells, but they should have added something red in there. I will insert somewhere the notes and the accords for this fragrance, but if I remember correctly, I think Junaid categorized this scent as like a Western Arabic sort of scent. Honestly, I don't know, maybe it's just my nose, but I don't get like the Middle Eastern part of the fragrance, or like the Middle Eastern vibe of the fragrance. But then again, I don't get the Western vibe of the fragrance as well. I don't know, guys, this is a very abstract fragrance, so I will do my best to describe it, but right from the start, I have to tell you, it's a very hard to describe fragrance. So when you first apply it, it has something like creamy, sweet, buttery and sharp to the nose, not in a gourmand way. Then it's followed by this like a creamy buttery caramel, and that's very sharp, and you can really, it's like tingling your nose almost, but not like a spicy way, not in like a spicy way, you know. Then you have the fresh blue aspect. You have a very like pronounced, or like a very nuanced fresh blue, like fresh blue aquatic accord here. That's very like contrasting to the other part of the fragrance that's like sweet, a little bit creamy, almost like a little bit buttery and resinous, but like soft resinous, not like a very strong, powerful resinous accord. I smell it now. Let's say I get the blue aquatic vibe first. I take my hand further away. I smell it again. I get the sweet, buttery, sharp, sweet vibe. It's a very interesting fragrance. I don't know, I don't think I would advise you to blind buy this fragrance, especially because I cannot really properly describe this fragrance. The best way to describe this one, to me, you know what it smells like? It smells like a luxury spa. It smells like a high-end luxury spa. I would rather associate this fragrance with like a place rather than people. It's very hard for me to picture what kind of man or woman would enjoy this fragrance. Like, perhaps people who are into like more abstract fragrances, I think those people would enjoy this fragrance. But like I said, it's very contrasting. Like, I smell it now, I get like the masculine, blue, aquatic, fresh vibe. I smell it again, I get the sweet vibe, the sweet, slightly resiny, powdery, ambery sort of vibe. From time to time when I smell it, I also get this soft Play-Doh like smell, like a soft Play-Doh that's like a little bit vanilla scented, that's like a little bit powdery. But don't forget the whole like blue, freshy, aquatic DNA that I was telling you. So I would say the whole time you're wearing it, the fragrance, it's almost like it like goes into one direction, then it comes back into the other, then it goes into the other, and this whole like movement, you know. As this one is developing on my skin, the blue, aquatic, fresh DNA that I was telling you about in the opening starts to be a bit more subdued, moves into the background, and now I get an amber accord, but not your modern amber accord. I get more of like an old school amber accord. And what I mean by an old school amber accord, I would say modern amber accords are made to be very likable, you know, are made to give you this like sweet, dense, sweet, dense, resiny aspect with a lot of depth, but very like sweet and likable, you know. Very heavy on vanilla, a little bit heavy on benzoin. They are more easy to enjoy. Old school amber accords, I would say, at least to my nose, how they smell, they're like less sweet, more dry, but not dry in the sense of like wet slash dry, more dry in the sense of like the opposite of sweetness, you know. And they have like a very distinctive powdery and the softest woody touch as well to them. And this is how I would say the amber accord in here smells. It's soft, slightly vanillic, slightly powdery, dry, little bit sweet, but still has the rawness and the depth of an amber accord, you know. I don't know if I made sense, guys. I'm sorry if I don't. I don't know. So yes, like I said, to me it's more of a scent that I would associate with a place rather than people. But I do still think people will enjoy this fragrance. But I think you need to look for something that's a bit more edgy, a bit more abstract, a bit more unique to appreciate this fragrance. Now, masculine, feminine, neutral. To me, this is like an androgynous fragrance, just like Ebony Wood, just like, I don't know, like Baccarat Rouge, these type of fragrances, androgynous fragrances. As I'm smelling this fragrance, if I were to be very honest with you, I think I would rather smell this one on my partner than on me. But keep in mind, I don't like blue fresh DNAs. I associate them more with masculine fragrances, and I would like to smell them more on a man than on myself, you know. So yes, keep this in mind. Okay, so let's move on to the last fragrance. Oh my god, I'm so excited to talk about this fragrance. This is a fragrance that from the first time I've smelled it, I have fallen in love with it again. This, I think, from all these three, is the one that's the most me, and is the one that suits my style and my taste the best when it comes to fragrances. I think I'm on the last spray of this one, and this is definitely on my wish list, but I'm waiting for beginning of autumn or like early to mid-autumn, you know, to wear it, because I do think this one, I mean, you could wear it in the summer, but honestly it's very strong and powerful, so I would say more in the colder months. Yes, guys, this last fragrance is called Badiah Gold, and let me just tell you, look a little bit at the photo with the fragrance. I will insert it somewhere over here. And just like do like a little like imaginary game with me. Like when you look at this bottle, by the way, the bottle is gorgeous, I think it's stunning, but look at the colors. What sort of fragrance do you picture? Or like what sort of smell would you picture this one to have? When I first looked at the bottle, and don't read the notes. When I first looked at the bottle, I was expecting this one to smell like Moattar Dhahab or something among those lines, you know, like sweet, vanillic, round, slightly resiny, a little bit smoky, perhaps with some yellow fruity nuances, you know, because it has this like golden look to it. And also I was expecting this one to be more feminine, but let me just tell you from the start, this is the perfect unisex fragrance for those who like heavy traditional Middle Eastern for those who like heavy, strong, traditional Middle Eastern blends. And this is a fragrance that I think a lot of the people who resonate with my style of fragrances, and I mean with a part of my style of fragrances, and who resonate with the sort of fragrances that I review here on my channel, like the heavier ones, will absolutely adore this fragrance. This one has listed fruity notes in the opening, rose and oud, rose in the middle, oud in the base. Guys, like this smells honestly like $1,000,000. This smells so expensive, and this smells, okay, so I don't know, honestly I don't know if the oud they used here it's like real oud or like an oud accord, but it smells so rich and so nuanced. And this is for those who like oud but they don't like the funk of the certain types of oud. This has no funk. How to even describe this fragrance? Okay, so first of all, this is a very dark and deep fragrance. The fruity aspect in the opening, honestly I don't get it at all. Personally, I don't get any fruity aspect in the opening. The notes, or like the vibe that I get the most, it's like dark, deep, rich, woody, slightly smoked. Imagine like you walk in a forest after the rain at midnight. You cut like a piece of wood that has like this like imaginary like juice inside that smells dark green and syrupy, but like also woody at the same time. And you get a lot of greenness around you, like green from the leaves, from the moss on the earth, you get also like a slight earthy nuance. You get all of these nuances. This is how I would say this one smells. And then you add on top of this like a very dark, like blood red, like rose, you know. But at least to my nose, the rose is in the background. This is not a rose forward fragrance. This is more of an oud forward fragrance. It smells so beautiful, so dark, so deep, so luxurious, so sophisticated, so royal. I really like how this fragrance smelled. Again, I don't think this is the kind of fragrance that a lot of people would enjoy, unless you have my taste when it comes to fragrances. If you have my taste, I think you would enjoy this fragrance. Yes, it's like earthy, like grounding, like dark green, like you have a dash of patchouli here, a little bit of vetiver, some very like realistic, like aromatic accord as well. Like, how to even describe, because it's not like you get all these nuances separately. It's almost like, imagine you have like something that has like a dark green aromatic touch, something that has like a grounding, slightly earthy vibe as well, and something that's like smells like wet wood. All of this together, you know, and you smell all these nuances when you smell this fragrance. And then, like I said, you have a very dark, imagine like how like a dark, like those roses that have like a blood red sort of shade. Imagine how those roses would smell like, you know. But this fragrance is very dark. I would say dark and deep is like the keywords when it comes to describing this fragrance. And very rich, very nuanced. You have like layers upon layers of fragrances. Like when you smell it, you get all these different nuances in a scent, which honestly I love it for that. I think it's a very beautiful fragrance. I think this is, you know, like this is a very like demanding fragrance, a statement fragrance, but at the same time, like this is a sort of fragrance that you wear when you like to be unapproachable, you know. This is not like the sort of fragrance that's like inviting. This is more cold and mysterious. And you know what? I find it very interesting. This smells so raw and so natural, guys. Again, I don't know if they've used an oud accord or they've used like real oud, because I cannot tell. But what I can tell you is that if they've used an oud accord, this oud accord is like 10 out of 10. It smells so good, like it's so well done. It smells so natural. Imagine, like I said, like a walk in the forest at midnight after the rain, and you get all this like natural smell, you know. It doesn't smell artificial, it doesn't smell alcohol in the opening. It's such a well done fragrance. This is like a wedding scent. When you go to a wedding and you want everyone to smell you, and you want your people, like you want to make a presence with the fragrance, this is the sort of fragrance I would say it's perfect for that sort of event. You know what? If you enjoy Areej Sheila, you will love this fragrance. And also, if you enjoy, it's a fragrance by Sisley and it's called Soir. If you enjoy that fragrance, you will absolutely adore this fragrance. Now, I love Areej Sheila. This one I like it even more. Because it's more rich, it's more nuanced, you know. It's more dark as well. It's darker, it's deeper, it's richer, it's heavier on oud as well. It doesn't have any leather. So if you want an oud fragrance, or if you want an oud based fragrance where you can smell the oud, but keep in mind the oud here has no funk, guys. Imagine like it smells like wet wood, but like a very strong wet wood smell, slightly smoked, slightly green, aromatic, and dark, and very nuanced. This is how I'll describe the oud accord used in this one. But oh my gosh, guys, this fragrance is so beautiful. Like, honestly, now, do I need another one of these in my collection? No. Do I want to add one of these in my collection? Yes. This fragrance is on my wish list. I would put this fragrance, you know what? I would put it in the category with Club de Nuit, or like Club de Nuit Intense from Armaf for women, Areej Sheila, Soir by Sisley. Yeah, these fragrances, like I said, it smells very realistic. It smells raw to me, you know. It smells like smells that you would naturally find in nature in certain scenarios, you know. But it's such a beautiful and opulent fragrance, but it's elegant at the same time, and it's very mysterious, guys. This is such a mysterious fragrance. This is the sort I don't think, you know what, the kind of woman that I would picture this fragrance on. I would picture this fragrance on a woman who's very confident within herself, but she's not loud. She's more mysterious, you know, like she doesn't say much, but somehow your eyes are drawn to her, and somehow there's just something about her that's very intriguing to you. This is the sort of woman that I would picture this fragrance on. She's not like the loud, sexy, but in like a provocative way sort of woman. This is more like the mysterious, sensual woman. this is the vibe that it gives me. This is the sort of woman I would picture this fragrance on. Like, I could talk about this fragrance so much because I like it so much. Now the performance is strong. This will perform, it will last, it will project in the first few hours, but it's not the kind of fragrance that it will be suffocating for everyone around you if you do the correct number of sprays, I guess. It's like an elegant, loud fragrance, you know. It's strong in terms of performance, it's strong in terms of scent profile, but it's not that like obnoxious strong that can be off-putting for people around you, you know. These are the scent families that I would spend my money on, you know. I would never like spend a lot of money on like freshies, like fruity aquatic scents, like powdery musky scents. Those are not for me. But when it comes to rose fragrances, and when it comes to oud, when it comes to spices, yeah, this is where I would put my money, you know, in this sort of fragrance DNAs, or like these sort of fragrance families. Those were my thoughts about these 3 fragrances. Let me know your thoughts on any of these 3 if you've tried them. Not only I would love to know, and I would love to read your experience with these fragrances, but I'm sure it would help oh my god, I cannot speak. It would help a lot of the people who are interested in trying out this fragrance as well. Because, you know, fragrance is something so personal, guys. Like, depending on your nose, on what kind of fragrances you like in general, on what kind of scent are you used to, you will get different nuances in a fragrance, you know. I always appreciate when you leave your comments in the comment section and you tell me what you think about a certain fragrance that I've talked about. Your experience with the fragrance can be a positive or a negative experience. It's always welcomed, you know, because I like this channel to be the place where we can all talk about fragrances and have or share different thoughts and experiences when it comes to fragrances, but still be able to like articulate them in a nice, elegant way, you know. So yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, and a lot of positive energy to all of you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me here. If you want to tell me anything, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you because I love chatting with you in the comment section. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye.